Okay, Díomh Cháirde, is mise Regina I Chollatáin agus is cin na scoile mé is scoil na Gaeilge and Líon Cheiltí agus an Bhéilídeas. I am the head of the School of Irish, Celtic Studies and Folklore, and I am also the chair of Modern Irish, the Prof, and I am delighted to welcome you here today. We are really enthusiastic about our area, and we have 4 disciplines within the school, all of which you will hear about now in a few minutes, and we have put together a little presentation for you. So I will start on that now. I'll share my screen in just a second. And it's just lovely to be here. It's not the way we expected to be doing our open days, and we always love meeting everybody on the day, but there is a real sense of collegiality, and as I said, we're very enthused about our subjects, about our school, and you will see the 4 subjects now, but I'll start off with a little bit on Modern Irish. So, Táimich an tosu inis, Díreach. Okay, Tásúlagan gur féidir le hanané seo eceilenis. Bé me glórt a merla agus an Gaelic. I'll be speaking in Irish and in English, mainly in English, because I'm very aware that many people we have a lot of dual language people in our audience today. So this is us. This is Scoil na Gaeilge and Líon Cheiltí agus an Bhéilídeas, or the School of Irish, Celtic Studies and Folklore. And what is not actually in the title, because we're only allowed a certain amount of subjects in the title, is Irish Studies, which is actually a different subject to Irish language in some ways, because while Irish language may be included as part of Irish Studies looks at our culture and our heritage in a much broader sense. So just to go to the next slide. So today, as I said, we have the 4 subjects and we will be looking at them, and we have 4 different subject heads. As the chair of Modern Irish, and it's actually the Douglas Hyde chair which I have, who was the first chair of Modern Irish way back in 1909, and also the first president of Conradh na Gaeilge, the Gaelic League, and also the first president of Ireland. So as I say to my students when you come in, there's no pressure. They are the standards to which we aspire in Modern Irish, and we love to think that you will aspire to those as well. Having said that, we have a very amicable, easygoing atmosphere within the school towards our Irish, and it's very inclusive. So I've had a lot of questions this morning over in the exhibition hall from people wondering about their standards of Irish. That's the first thing I'm going to say to you. Do not worry about that. You do have to have honours Irish in spoken and written Irish, but don't worry about your standard, because it doesn't matter whether you've been to a Gael Scoil, a Scoil Verla, or wherever you've been. As long as you have that standard, you will keep up and you will be fine. And that's our job. It's our job to make sure that you improve and that you embrace the language to the standards that we expect you to achieve by the end of year 1. Now, I'll just go straight into this. As I said, the 4 subjects, I'm starting with Modern Irish. It's called Modern Irish because it's the Irish that you do, but it really belongs from the period of 1200 to modern day. That's why it's called Modern Irish, but it actually is Irish as you know it. The other subject we have, as I said, is Irish Studies, and Dr. Aoife Whelan, the head of Irish Studies, will be giving you a little bit of that after I speak. Dr. Fang J.Q., who is our lecturer in Celtic Civilization, will be giving you the little bit on Celtic Civilization. Please note the name. Fang J is actually from Beijing Foreign Studies University, where he did Irish Studies and studied Celtic Civilization, and he is now employed with us as a full-time lecturer. So that'll let you see the breadth. And just to maybe, secondly, or to move on to that, our head of folklore is Dr. Kelly Fitzgerald, and Kelly is also from Chicago. So if you're studying Irish, you're studying Irish Studies, you're studying folklore, you're studying Celtic Civilization, be aware that the world really is your oyster, and it is a wonderful area to be specialising in. As a professor of Irish language, I have had fellowships in the United States, in Melbourne, in China, in Europe, Canada. I spent a year in Canada as a visiting professor. This is all through Irish language. So I'm starting off with that, and that's where I'm going to start with my talk on Modern Irish today. The first thing is that there are no limits, there are no boundaries, and it is what you want it to be and what you make of it. So I just want to very much state that at the beginning. There are 3 entry routes, the BA Arts, the BA in Humanities, and then of course the BA in Modern Languages is to do with the modern languages, but we also have a pathway in the modern languages. Just to look as well, the BA in Humanities these are the pathways that we have set up. Your BA in Arts are your 2 subjects that you come in through an arts degree. The BA in Humanities, we have One of our pathways is with the School of Languages, language, literature, language, linguistics and cultures. And the second pathway that we have, which is our first intake, will be in 2021. The new pathway on Teanga, Litríocht agus Aistríocháin, which translates to language, literature and translation. And we specialise in translation skills to prepare people for posts in Europe, for example, and all over the world indeed. And it's also general translation skills. So they are the ways to study. The 2 subject degree, as I say, you come in, if you do in the DN 520, you can come in and do English, Irish with a subject, with any of the other arts subjects, and you can do it that way. Usually in first year, you have to have 10 credits. For the subjects in first year, you do 30 credits. So you have to have 10 credits, which is basically 2 5-credit courses. A course is basically a 12 weeks of lectures, and that is what we call your module. So you have to do 2 of those to be able to progress to second level if you're doing Irish. So that's in first year. And then, as I said, the BA, these are the humanities, the other way in, languages, linguistics and cultures, and our new pathway, Teanga, Litríocht agus Aistríocháin. So, and just to start off, this is one of the things, as I said, no boundaries. These are our students on their Gaeltacht course. I'm sure many of you have been to the Gaeltacht or at least know about it, but this is actually in Kerry as it happens. But it's just, we loved this picture because it is the sense of the students just really going out into the world and wherever you want to go, and that there are no limits, but yet we're very much in touch with our heritage and who we are. And you can see there that the students are very much enjoying their hike, and it's really Immel and Doin marriage are at the edge of the world. So is féidir leat an nua-Gaeilge a dheanú mar éabhar acadú, agus an timpolacht ollscoile agus deisina le Gaeilge. Sin iad na rudaí a bhés a blé agam liveniu. And in the context of modern Irish, I'll be discussing this as an academic subject, the environment in which we work in modern Irish, and the opportunities that you get as when you study Irish with us. So éabhar acadú, mar dúirt mé, príomh-éabhar na min-éabhar na éabhar ránach. You can do it as a main subject, a major. You can do it as a minor subject with others in the College of Social Sciences as well, or as an elective. Some of you may be thinking of doing something, maybe medicine, maybe engineering, maybe business, but you can come and do an elective module with us if you want to keep up your Irish, and many do, and we welcome all students of all kinds. But if you are doing it as a main subject, as a major, you have to do these 2 modules, Teanga na Gaeilge Hain, which is a core module, and Litríocht na Gaeilge, which is a críomh, it's also a core module. In Teanga na Gaeilge Hain, basically what you do is you do an in-depth study of Irish language. We have tutorials, so you're divided up into groups of 15. For your tutorials, and you have an individual tutor every week, and you do language classes, and you submit exercises every week and whatever. Also, we have a multimedia lab, and we have a director of the multimedia lab, Donna O'Marachu, with us at the moment, but Emer Nguyen is out on leave at the moment, but Emer will be back with us. And you do classes through that as well for your oral work and to develop your listening, skillina éisteachta agus skillina lortha, for your listening and for your spoken. And we're very, very cognizant of the abilities of different people coming in. Now, while we do teach wholly through the medium of Irish, we absolutely adapt our Irish, especially in first year, to the students' understanding that even though you might have wonderful Irish, you may not be accustomed to listening to Irish every single day, and that's a different skill in itself. So just to be aware that we do allow for that in your lectures. Okay, so Teanga na Gaeilge Hain, and Litríocht na Gaeilge is basically what we have for that is we have it's divided into 4 sections, and we treat, for example, modern literature. We do literature before 1850. We do new themes in Irish, and we do various other things. And basically, you have an assignment to do at the end of every section, and then an essay at the end. But it's just more to familiarise yourself with the literature aspect of it. The second semester, then you would do you can do your Teanga na Gaeilge module in either semester 1 or 2. You can do your literature module in either semester 1 or 2. And this is another one then for Birch na Gaeilge Acadúla. It's to help you develop your academic skills in Irish. So you can see first year is very, very much directed on the student. And these are just a few of the, and I'm going to fly through these because they're basically just pictures to let you know some of the literature things that we do. Aviach na Gaeilge, the Irish Revival, prose, literature, agus dramaíocht, Fríomhach na literature, the Gaeilge, the roots, and modern themes. And these are just a few of our writers. Brendan O'Hehir, Liam O'Murhila, and Martin O'Kine, who is the man there with the mic, was one of our most famous writers. And we have a celebration this year, 50 years since the anniversary of his death. And we actually had our big Liacht I Chain this week, and it was a wonderful occasion. These are just some of our scholars. That's our multimedia lab there to your left, and that's actually one of our students who is now a lecturer in another university. And these are 3 of our other students who went on Fulbright scholarships to the States. There are other Ireland Canada University Foundation scholarships, and our students are very successful with these, where you get a chance to go and spend a year teaching Irish in a university in the States or Canada, or indeed Beijing now. At the moment we are making links with them as well. And so just to be aware that those opportunities are there. And these are just a few pictures of the Aireach na Gaeilge, the Irish heritage, which you would be aware of. The next then are the how you can go ahead. There are other options with law with Irish, the social sciences, as I said, where you can take it as a minor, and then you can develop on and do a master's. And we have a wonderful master's, MA Scriab agus Cummerside, writing and communications, where students also go on and they do placements in Europe and all over the world as well, and in many Irish language organisations and state organisations. And also we have now a new, in 2022, we are hoping that we may have a new pathway coming in on education and Irish for teachers specifically. So we have our multimedia, our Unad Ilvine, the Seomra Cadrov, which is our common room for all students and for all staff, so you can meet everybody there. We have a Gaeltacht trip in 2nd year and 3rd year, the Common Gaelach in the university, the Scheme Chonihach for many of you, contact board na Gaeilge and UCD, because you may want to try for the scholarships where you get accommodation, where you get the chance to be on campus. And we have a module on that skill in a Cummerside. We also have a journal, we have columns in the newspapers, Colin Gaeilge, and we are very much involved in the 10-year of commemoration events. And then you have the Oireachtas na Gaeilge and a lot of events. We're very active in our events. And here we have just a few, as I said, these are the pictures from the Gaeltacht from the students. Ar na Sléibhte, Cush Tra, Tra na Gceist, Dausa Urlar agus Air, and Amar Dúirtme and Chiad Olav na Gaeilge, the first Irish language professor, Douglas Hyde. And a nation is made from its side. I do not share the wish to see my language dead and decently buried. And as I said, 1909, the first chair of modern Irish, and 1938, the first president of Ireland, and indeed the first president of Conradh na Gaeilge. The second, which is very interesting, the second chair of modern Irish was Unan Yarchali, and again, showing again perhaps the gender equity within Irish, which goes back a long time. Here are all your, as I said, your possibilities: teaching, law and civil service, translators, interpreters, media. We've lots of students who've gone on to media, TG Cahar, Radio na Gaeltachta, as I said, the travel opportunities, Irish language organisations, Conradh na Gaeilge, Gael Lynn. There's 6 specific publishing and terminology projects, and Fiontar out in DCU, where they do lots of digital projects as well. And just na main, Tashavar Fad, Olach, Arhushud. And this is just a very coloured picture of what really Irish is about in the modern world today. And this is the world that you will be entering into if this is what you want. Note that we're in Europe and we're all over the world there. So I'm moving on now. We go on to Canada, which is when I was in Canada, Gakiri, agus Sinné Gabailach, and these are the contact details. So I'm going to move on to our next slide now, which is actually, this is where we're Celtic Civilization.
Hi, welcome to the subject of Celtic Civilization. My name is Fang Jie Chiu, and I'm one of the lecturers in the subject. So we have also Dr. Roisin McLaughlin, who is the head of the subject here, and Dr. Linda Doran, who is also a lecturer. So what is Celtic Civilization? Basically, we explore the civilization of the peoples who speak or spoke the various Celtic languages, specializing especially in early medieval Ireland. That's between 400 and 1200 AD. We offer interdisciplinary and critical views in these fields, including literature, language, archaeology, manuscript studies, history, law, art, and much, much more. So, for the first year modules, we offer modules such as Introduction to Celtic Civilization, Vikings and the Celtic World, Early Ireland Continuity and Change, about the British Celts, and also an introduction to the early Irish language. I hope you're interested in our subject, and thanks very much.
Steve. Hello everyone. My name is Dr. Aoife Whelan and I'm the Head of Irish Studies here at UCD. Through our Irish Studies programme, you are invited to deepen your knowledge of Ireland's modern society and its history, language, literature and rich culture through a range of multidisciplinary modules. Guided by our expert lecturers, students can develop their understanding of the Irish language, literature in both Irish and English, history, archaeology, folklore, music, sport, art, politics and society. And I will add that no prior knowledge of the Irish language is required to take these programmes. We provide both options for those who already have an understanding of Irish, as well as those who are beginners and would like to learn the language as part of their programme. But any material that we look at through Irish is provided through an English language translation. There are two ways to take Irish studies here at UCD. The first is in our BA Arts programme, DN 520. This is a 3-year programme in which students choose 2 subjects for a joint honours. So it's possible to choose Irish Studies and one other subject for your 3-year BA Arts degree. The other option is a new programme we have developed as part of our BA Humanities DN 530 programme. And this is a 4-year interdisciplinary pathway focusing entirely on Irish studies. One of the main differences here is that students have an additional year in the programme. So first year and second year are usually spent at UCD taking modules with us, and then the third year will be spent either on study abroad or Erasmus placement with one of our partner universities, or engaging in an internship or work placement in an industry relative to Irish studies. The fourth year then will be spent back on campus, honing your skills for the final year of your programme. Each of our Irish Studies programmes is comprised of an innovative course design, which includes interactive seminars, lectures, presentations and online tasks, as well as research-driven active learning. And we place huge emphasis not only on the content that students study, but also on the skills that they develop throughout this programme. We usually, when we aren't in level 5 and the heritage sites are open, we encourage students to visit museums, archives and other culturally significant sites, including the National Gallery, the National Library, the National Museum, the New Molly Museum of Irish Literature and much more. And students always enjoy these field trips, which are an extremely important part of our programme and allow students the opportunity to view what they have learned about in the classroom in a real life scenario and to explore the cultural heritage, particularly around Dublin city centre. We also, of course, make full use of the historical and cultural facilities on campus, including the National Folklore Collection, which is housed in our building, in the Newman building in UCD, as well as UCD Special Collections and their wonderful manuscript collection there, UCD Digital Library, and the many exhibitions and events that take place on campus each semester. If you'd like to know more about these programmes, please get in touch with me. You can contact me at aoife.whelan@ucd.ie or come along to our virtual booth as part of the Open Day today.
Welcome to the subject of Irish folklore and ethnology. I'm Dr. Kelly Fitzgerald and I'm the head of the subject here in the School of Irish, Celtic Studies and Folklore. Folklore studies is an increasing area of study for students here in UCD, and our students are delving into the fascinating realm of folklore, which includes traditional aspects of culture, the vernacular narratives, wedding customs, as well as more contemporary expressions we see through internet memes and ways in which the people express and celebrate and commemorate their lives today. These are just a few ways that students can engage with the subject, and we see here in the school that the ethos and mission strongly supports the values, the concepts of creating and informing future understanding of national and international identities. We see here that while preserving traditional heritage, language, and culture and literature, we also engage through our teaching in an innovative and forward-thinking manner, which includes ways of exploring the world around us, particularly through ethnographic fieldwork and ways in which to discover the cultures around us. Now, what do we have here in UCD that delivers the best that we can in terms of folklore studies? And of course, we have the National Folklore Collection. This archive is a UNESCO recognized repository, and it is at the heart of the UCD folklore experience. And it works as an anchor from which our field can grow and develop. We see here a number of ways in which you will be welcomed into our school and join us in studying further. Thank you very much.
Okay, sin a méid a taúin in is sin tamarashik and scholarist just go while I'm creaking live. I'm just going to give you just little things. This is one of our online repositories. These are all the talks that we have done. These are all the talks that we have done on online over the years, and if you want to get just a little bit of a flavour of what we do, you're very welcome to go online onto the website of our school, and you will find this SoundCloud list of lectures, and please do. And finally, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, and we're on Instagram, so please do follow us. We are quite active on them, and we love to engage with the social media in that way, and it's a great way of seeing what we're at. And finally, this is where you will be coming if you come to our School of Irish Celtic Studies and Folklore. And the first person you will see when you come in the door is, as we have nicknamed him now, our Dougie. This is Douglas Hyde, who was, as I say, had all those accolades, and we have a little bit of manuscript material behind, and you are welcomed into the school. We're lucky we have a beautiful new school and with lots of facilities. So Gura Mohigov, ba yas Lord Levenu, agus mata ein question agav tamad your file when you question anish. I know there was one question on whether you can study it as an elective, and that's absolutely, that's what a lot of people do as well. So that's very possible, yeah.
And Regina, we've had a lot of questions about careers. What types of careers and what types of organisation do a lot of your graduates go on to pursue careers in?
Okay. Our careers are mainly in, we can have, actually, to be honest, if you do any of our subjects, you could end up working as a teacher in a school, you could end up working in Canada, China, anywhere. You could end up working in the civil service. Teaching would be one of our main areas. But I have to say that recently now as well, and when I say recently, I'm talking about the last 10 years, there's been a lot of development also in the area of Irish language organisations, because they're very active out there, and I'm sure students are very aware of them out there. For example, you have the Gaelic League and lots of spin-offs from those. And lots of people also go into areas of politics maybe, or working with the civil service. So within Ireland itself, there are areas within the public sector that you can work, but also within teaching, but also within, you know, organisations within Irish where people are working. People work in cultural, for example, folklore. Many people go into the cultural museums, and they're working all over the country in very many guises. You will meet them all over the place. And the same with Celtic Civilization. And the other thing is that people work internationally, especially with Celtic Civilization and folklore as well, that they can be working in various cultural guises, and they are where there are international collaborations between various organisations as well. The other thing then also, of course, with the Irish language is the role of interpreters, translators, high-level administrators, and for example, working with the proofing library or whatever in the European Commission and that, and we do have placements for that, and our new pathway will have placements for those kind of posts. So to be honest, it's very, very varied. And, you know, for somebody who has been engaging in this all my life, I would certainly say, you know, if you want to do any of the 4 subjects, and particularly maybe in Irish language with many, many doors opening up at the moment, it's a very, very dynamic area to be in. And I certainly have found, you know, that there are, I, for example, started out as a primary teacher, and I've traveled the world with Irish and enjoyed the experience of meeting many wonderful people working in Irish and many guises all over the world.
Gurmila Mahagat, Regina.
Gurmahagad Hain Emer, Gurmahagad Kinyeri Live.